With iOS 15, Apple may not have changed all that much visually in the software, but there's still lots to get into and to tinker with. Whether you've got yourself a new iPhone 13 series device or just updated the software on your old model. I'm Cam Bunton from Pocket-lint, and in this video I'm going to take you through some of the features that I find the most useful, and some of them aren't all that obvious. And if you like this video, please do leave a thumbs up, subscribe and tap the notification bell. Number 1 is stopping apps from tracking you. Lots of apps you use want to track various patterns and usage data from you while you use their apps. In most instances, it's so they can serve you more relevant advertisements or get to know how people use their software to help them improve it. However, there's good reason to block all tracking, and if you want to, just open Settings, tap Privacy, and now tap Tracking. Right at the top, there's a toggle that says Allow apps to request to track. If you don't want any apps to request tracking information, just toggle this off. Or, alternatively, you can manually toggle tracking on or off for apps individually in the list below. Number 2 is along a similar vein, and it's seeing which apps access which data. On a similar note, this is just a quick tip, but if you scroll down to the bottom of the privacy screen and tap Record App Activity, toggle that on and now wait about a week or so. After a few days, you can go back to that menu option and tap Save App Activity. It will then save a summary that shows you which apps have saved various data or hardware on your phone. Number 3 we made a separate video for, but it's bringing back the old Safari. In iOS 15 we got a new Safari with a search bar and a tab switcher at the bottom. It's actually quite convenient for one-handed use and lets you easily swipe between tabs. However, if you want the old layout back with the URL bar at the top, you can switch back. And there are 2 ways to do it. Either go to Settings, Safari, and scroll down until you see the 2 tab icons. Now select Single Tab. When you relaunch Safari, it'll now have the bar at the top. The other quicker way to switch is when you're opening Safari itself. Open any web page, tap the AA icon in the search bar, and now you'll get a pop-up menu appear. Tap the option that says Show Top Address Bar. Number 4 is bundling all your non-important notifications together. iOS 15 has a feature called Scheduled Summary, and it lets you bundle all the less important notifications together and then delivers them at the same time, rather than you getting random pings throughout the day. To enable it, go to Settings, Notifications, and tap Scheduled Summary. Now toggle it on and go through the setup process. You choose the apps you want to include in your summary and tap Add Apps at the bottom. On the next screen, choose the times you want the first and second summaries to appear. You can also tap the plus to add more frequent summaries throughout the day. So you could have one appear at lunchtime and one in the evening if you want to. When those are chosen, just hit the Turn on Notification Summary option at the bottom. Now you'll only be notified by direct messages or apps that you haven't included in your selection throughout the day, until the time that you've chosen to have the summary appear. Number 5 is getting announcements for notifications in your AirPods. Now if you have a pair of AirPods Pro or other modern H1 chip headphones, you can get Siri to announce notifications through them whenever you have them in your ears and connected to your iPhone. To switch that on, go to Settings, Siri and Search, and now tap Announce Notifications, and then toggle the option on at the top of the page. And toggle on the headphone switch as well if it isn't already. Number 6 is switching off HDR video. By default, the newer iPhone models record video in HDR or Dolby Vision, which not only takes up a lot of space, but also isn't compatible with a lot of other devices. To switch it off, go to Settings, Camera, and then tap Record Video. Toggle off the option that says HDR video. Number 7, Reachability. Back in the day when iPhones had buttons, you could bring stuff down from the top of the screen to make them easier to reach by double tapping on the home button. You can do it on the new iPhones without buttons as well, but you have to activate it first. Go to Settings, Accessibility, and now tap Touch. Toggle on the Reachability option. Now when you swipe down on the bottom edge of the screen, it drops the stuff from the top of the screen further down, making it easier to reach. Number 8 is a favourite from last year, and it's double tapping for a screenshot. With the right accessibility function enabled, you can simply tap twice on the back of your phone to take a screenshot, rather than fiddling with the button combination. Just go to Settings, Accessibility and Touch. Now select Back Tap. Choose the double tap option and find Screenshot in that list. And now when you double tap your phone's back, it'll take a screenshot. You can of course choose other functions like dropping down notifications or Control Center if you want, or enabling a triple back tap option. Anything that you would find useful. Number 9 is a brand new feature called Live Text. One cool new feature is live text, and it allows you to use your camera to read and display text in real time. So you could, for instance, use it to instantly send a sentence from an article or document in a message. Open any messaging app and tap on the text field, and then tap the little icon that looks like a text in a box. It might also say scan text. It will now open up a camera view and start scanning text, and will then display it in the field as you show it to the camera. If you want it to be a bit more precise, just tap the little capture icon to take a quick still of the text that you want. You can now highlight the specific block of text that you want to include. Another way you can do it is just opening the camera app and making sure you're in photo mode. Now point at the text that you want and tap the live text icon in the corner. It will then take a scan of the text, and you can now highlight text within that to share it with someone by copying and pasting. Number 10 is very similar, and it's using live text in a screenshot. So there is another way to use live text, and it's with a screenshot. So you can take a screenshot and tap on it to open the editor view. Tap on the live text section and now tap on it and drag to highlight the text that you want. Now you can copy and paste. Number 11, focus mode. Now focus mode could easily be its very own video, but briefly, if you head to settings, focus, you can create dedicated scenarios where only specific apps and people can interrupt you at specific times or locations. You can set up one scenario for personal mode and another for work mode. Going through the process might take a little bit of time, but essentially just involves adding dedicated people who can contact you and choosing which apps to allow. Once that's set up, you can schedule when you want that scenario to come on, whether it's time and date based or location based. You can even customize the home screens that appear during each focus time. Number 12 is limiting the frame rate. By default, the iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max have their screens set to go to a maximum of 120Hz refresh. But if you'd like to limit that, you actually can, but you won't find it in the display settings. Go to Settings, Accessibility and Motion. Now toggle on the Limit Frame Rate option, and it won't go over 60 frames per second. Next is creating your own photographic style. One other camera feature on the new iPhone models is something called Photographic Styles. Unlike a simple filter, this adjusts things like warmth, brightness and contrast to create an aesthetic that will be applied to all of your photos. Open Settings and Camera. Now scroll to Photographic Styles. Swipe through the options until you find a look that you like. And once you've found one, hit the blue tab at the bottom, and this will be your style. If you want to change it at any time, you can just go back to that menu and change it back. Number 14 is choosing music for your photographic memories. In the new Photos app, Apple automatically sticks a backing track on the photo and video memories it creates for you in the For You tab. But you can change it. Open up the Photos and tap For You and choose one of your memories at the top. Once open, tap on it again and tap the little music icon in the corner. Now you can swipe across and it changes the filter and the music as you do so. Or if you tap the musical note icon in the bottom right, you can now see a larger selection of options, including a search button, which, when pressed, lets you go through your entire library to find a specific song. Number 15, Trackpad Keyboard. Last but not least, and this is an old favourite of mine, but it's a must. If you want to precisely move your cursor when typing, you can turn your keyboard into a trackpad by just long pressing the spacebar and then swiping your thumb around. Now place the cursor on the screen in the exact place you want it to go. So there you have it, a handful of tips and tricks that I personally find useful to use every day. Let me know what you think of them, and let me know what you found in iOS 15 in the comments below. Again, if you did like this video, please do leave a thumbs up, it helps us a lot. Subscribe and tap the notification bell, and that way you keep up with all of our uploads. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye for now.